Alpha Females, it's Katie Freeman here. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of this podcast. We are on episode 17 now, and I wanted to just say thank you so much for the love that you gave last week's episode. It was a really fun time interviewing fellow sisters at our Founders Day, and I'm glad y'all seemed to enjoy it. So let's get into this week's episode. We are going to be doing another installment of Greeks in the News. So our first story for today is from WBAL TV 11, and it is written by Kim Dacey. And the title is University of Maryland Orders Fraternities, Sororities to Indefinitely Cease Activities Immediately. So the University of Maryland ordered all fraternities and sororities to immediately and indefinitely cease and desist activities. The Student Affairs Division sent a notice on Friday saying several chapters engaged in dangerous activities. This letter stated that multiple chapters have been conducting activities that have threatened the safety and well-being of members of the university community. The letter states that the university warned about behavior on Thursday before new allegations of misconduct surfaced on Friday, and the university is conducting an investigation. Apparently, this decision was made after careful consideration of reports, observations, and data-driven analysis of behaviors that they felt posed a threat to the safety and well-being of some members of our community. No specific or single incident led to this decision, and it was made to prevent such a significant incident. Basically, people on campus are really shocked because they can't hold any meetings. Apparently, police have searched all of the houses on Greek Row. They are working with chapter and council presidents, as well as national organizations and advisors. They are working with the fraternities and sororities to better communicate. Current members have been ordered to not have any contact with new and prospective members, and those who violate the order will face disciplinary action. Many students think it's unfair to suspend all Greek organizations for the actions of a few. Whatever the future holds, if there was wrongdoing, students hope the organization is held accountable so that they can get back to business as usual. Our next story comes from WAFF 48, and the title is UNA Celebrates 50 Years of Greek Life on Campus by Creating a Greek Hall of Fame. So basically, at the University of North Alabama, they are celebrating 50 years of Greek life being active on their college campus, and they have a bunch of upcoming celebratory events that they get to look forward to, as well as bringing back some of the charter members of those fraternities and sororities to be recognized and to basically say thank you and celebrate the presence of Greeks on that campus. Our last story for today comes from the publication Old Gold and Black from Wake Forest University, and it is written by Walker Newman, and the title is Greek Life Controls the Social Narrative at Wake Forest. And the headline is, You Should Not Be Defined by Your Organization's Social Ranking. I decided to read this op-ed because I really do agree that obscure and irrelevant rankings of sororities and fraternities on campuses really hurts the Greek community. And I just wanted to, highlight the fact that this is still occurring and just bring awareness to it. So essentially, Walker goes into how when she went through recruitment, she was made aware of an app called Fizz that essentially is a platform where students can anonymously make comments and post about a variety of topics. Because Greek life is often a subject that is brought up on this platform, a lot of negativity can be brought up and false information can be posted. So let's get into it. The article covers a lot of the basics about being in a sorority, going through fall recruitment, spring recruitment. So there's a header that says obscure rankings have serious implications. Pitting young women against each other is no new societal concept. However, it is particularly exacerbated during fall semester leading up to recruitment. And basically, rankings of sororities happen on this app. And this fosters a sense of discontent among members of the freshman class, as well as current sorority members, further disavowing the sense of sisterhood that is supposed to be present among members and between Panhellenic organizations. Creating a sense of hate and judgment between young women based on which or Greek organization they wish to join is simply not worth anyone's time. Why talk about Greek rankings or recruitment when conversations about the actual state of the world could be occurring? Wake Forest students, specifically those in sororities who boast philanthropy, pretend to care about pro-humanitate and creating positive change in the world. But what they actually like to do is tear each other down for not being good enough in their eyes. And I would agree that there are some bad eggs in the Greek system that like to tear other houses down. However, a lot of the negativity does come from people that are not even in the system, or they went through recruitment and it just didn't work out for them, and now they've got a bad taste in their mouth and they need a platform to basically unload on. So I definitely think it is not just the Greek community. It is also the non-Greek community perpetuating these stereotypes. The article continues, the severe judgments of each sorority's stereotype or rank and of their members on social media only works to create negative and untrue assumptions by PNMs before they even meet current members from each organization. While I don't assume that these narratives will change soon, creating a general understanding that no Greek organization is better or more elite than any other would be a great place to start. 100% agree with that, Walker. And she ends with, in my personal opinion, each sorority is on the same plane, but there are individual vibes and levels of commitment to each. Yes, individual vibes, but the levels of commitment are pretty much across the board the same. So I just disagree with that part. I would encourage members of Greek life to remember that in the real world, most people don't experience such an isolated environment as Wake Forest sororities and fraternities, which only exacerbate my feelings of the Wake bubble. Interesting. My parting advice, the organization you choose to spend your time in does not define your worth. 100% agree. And it does not define who you are as a person. It is just a part of you. I thought this was a great write-up on the state of judgment and elitism within the Greek community. All right, well, thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this episode, please go ahead and rate this podcast 5 stars wherever you listen. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast. And if you have any Greek-related questions, go ahead and send an email to alphafemalepod@gmail.com. I hope you have a great weekend ahead, and I will talk to you next week, Alpha Females. Take care.